Today's lesson is Module 4, Lesson 9. We are going to practice writing addition and subtraction expressions. Remember, an expression does not have an equal sign. In this first one, we're going to look at 3 plus 5. So first, I'm going to write that as a number sentence using an operation. So I'm going to write the number 3, the operation for plus, which is the addition sign, and 5. I can model that by first drawing 3 and then adding. I'm going to make this line a little bit bigger so you can see how many I'm adding on, and then adding 5 more. 2, 3, 4, 5. And next I'm going to look at 5 plus 3. So that is 5, the operation for addition, and then 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to add 3 more on. And you can see that those result in the same thing. So 3 plus 5 is 8, and 5 plus 3 is 8. So we can say 3 plus 5 is the same as 5 plus 3. And remember, we learned that in Lesson 8 for commutative property that says that it doesn't matter which order we add, we will get the same thing. Now we're going to look at if we have a variable in our expression, so a plus 2. So the first thing I'm going to do is write that as a number sentence. And since I don't know how much a is, I'm just going to represent that by an empty box with the letter a in it. But I do know how much 2 is, so I can just add on 2 boxes. Next, we see the opposite of that, which is 2 plus a. And again, commutative property tells me that it doesn't matter which order I have, I will have the same result. So a plus 2 is the same as 2 plus a. Now we're going to take a look at some subtraction expressions. And in this first one, we have 10 minus 6, and I write that as 10 minus 6. I can model that by making 10 and then I can model subtraction by crossing out 6 of those. So 10 minus 6. Now the one thing that we need to remember is there is no commutative property of subtraction. So 10 minus 6 is not equivalent to 6 minus 10. If I have 6 and I try to take out 10, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that aren't, there's 4 that are not represented. So 6 minus 10 is not the same as 10 minus 6. Now for this next one, take 3 from a number. So this time, since I don't know what my number is, I'm going to be using a variable, because remember, variables stand in for numbers that we do not know. I'm going to use the letter N for number. So if I'm going to take 3 from a number, then that's the same as N minus 3. And if I substituted in a number, let's say 6 for the word number, so if it said take 3 from 6, then I start with 6 and then I subtract 3. Now we're going to review why we need parentheses. Remember, according to order of operations, we start with parentheses first. So 1 plus 2 is inside my parentheses. So 1 plus 2 is 3. Then I rewrite everything that I haven't used. And 3 minus 3 is 0. Next, this time there's no parentheses. I only have subtraction and addition, so I work from left to right. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Then I bring down the operation I haven't used and the number I haven't used. And now 2 plus 2 is 4. So you can see our end result is different. So we say parentheses, change the outcome. So in the first one, I had parentheses and my outcome was 0. In the second one, I had no parentheses and my outcome was 4. And then we want to do just a real quick review of order of operations. Remember, for order of operations, we do parentheses first, then exponents. We multiply or divide left to right, whichever one comes first, and then we add or subtract left to right. So let's do this problem together. I can see that I have a set of parentheses. Remember, I always work left to right, so I'm going to start here. So I have 12, because 8 plus 4 is 12. And then I write down the rest of my expression. Now I can see I still have a set of parentheses, so I'm going to do that next, and 5 minus 1 is 4. Then I write down everything that I haven't used. And now I have divide and multiply, but remember I work left to right, so I'm going to start with 12 divided by 3, which is 4. Then I still have multiplication left, so 4 times 2 is 8. And finally, 8 plus 4 is 12. We will do today's lesson together as a class. Feel free to pause and rewind these notes as much as you need to, and be prepared to start in your book, Module 4, Lesson 9. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.